Ratan Tata passing recently at 86 really made me think, it kind of feels like the end of an era. And I realized while most people have heard the name, they might only know him as the head of Tata Sons.
Which is saying something, right? I mean, it's not just any company, it's the whole Tata Group, a global company. Well, more like a massive empire, really, with everything from cars to software, even tea, believe it or not.
It's amazing the reach they have, but what I find so interesting is how he came to lead it all. Ratan Tata, he wasn't like the obvious successor. It wasn't just handed to him.
Not at all. People assume, the name, it was destiny. No way. This is someone who got an architecture degree from Cornell, then started his career on the factory floor at Tata Steel. Not your typical CEO path.
Hands-on learning to the extreme. I get the feeling he really had to prove himself, especially with that legacy looming over him.
There's this quote. It's from a book on the Tata family. Always stuck with me. It's hard being a Tata. The surname doesn't permit failure. Can you imagine that pressure?
Wow. Talk about setting the bar high. No room for error, much less failure.
So he starts on the factory floor, works his way up, leads Tata Industries, but then to take charge of the entire Tata Group, especially back in the early 90s.
Oh, it was huge. India's economy opening up, so much competition. Ratan Tata, he had to navigate all that while turning this mostly India-focused company into, a global powerhouse.
And how he transformed it. I mean, the brands he brought in, Tetley Tea, everyone knows that one, and Jaguar Land Rover, that's luxury British automotive history. These weren't just random purchases either.
Absolutely not. Each one was strategic. Like Jaguar Land Rover, they weren't just buying a company, they were buying a legacy, a whole design philosophy, a chunk of car history. It instantly changed how the world saw the Tata Group.
Exactly. And it wasn't just about those big acquisitions. He had a vision, a very specific way he wanted the Tata Empire to work.
He understood the weight of the Tata name. That's why he brought control back to Tata Sons. He didn't want separate companies, he wanted a united brand, which is where the brand subscription scheme comes in, right? So interesting. He made other Tata companies pay to use the name. What was the thinking behind that?
It was actually incredibly innovative, especially back then. Kept the brand consistent, let Tata Sons reinvest in it, build up its strength, leveraging the name, making it benefit everyone under the Tata umbrella.
It's really impressive, that strategic thinking. But while he's out there conquering the business world, he never forgot about India, did he?
Not for a second. Ratan Tata, he truly believed business could be a force for good, that it could drive real, positive change, and nothing shows that better than the Tata Nano.
The people's car. So ambitious, although wasn't it kind of a flop in the end?
Well, it's true. It didn't take over the market like everyone thought it would, but calling it a flop, that misses the whole point. Ratan Tata, his vision, it was about safety, affordability. Millions of Indians were using motorcycles. He wanted to give them a better option. The Nano, it had its problems, sure, but it was trying to do something really important, pushing the limits of what you could do in car engineering, making something that cheap.
It shows he was willing to take risks, even if it meant shaking things up.
Exactly. And don't forget, all his philanthropy, education, healthcare, rural development, he poured resources into it all. Ratan Tata believed in opportunity for everyone, and he put his money where his mouth was.
And his focus on sustainability, that was huge too. Not just talk, he really walked the walk on that.
100%. He knew businesses had to step up, deal with climate change, protect the planet, promoting renewable energy, pushing for sustainable practices inside Tata. His impact, it's undeniable.
It's clear his actions were driven by real purpose, but even beyond all he achieved, it's his words that stick with people.
Oh, absolutely. Those quotes get shared for a reason. Timeless wisdom, not just for business folks, but for anyone trying to figure life out.
Okay, so let's get into some of those famous quotes. One that always gets me is, "None can destroy iron, but its own rust can. Likewise, none can destroy a person, but their own mindset can." Powerful stuff.
That's resilience right there. It's a reminder. We can't always control what life throws at us, but we control how we react. It's about building that inner strength, believing in yourself, even when things get rough.
Makes you think about the challenges he must have faced, especially early on when people doubted he could lead Tata.
Oh, I bet there were plenty who thought he wasn't up to it, that he was just there because of the name. But Ratan Tata, he was like that iron resisting the rust. He proved them wrong through sheer willpower, refusing to let their doubts define him.
He really did. Which brings to mind another one of his quotes. I love this one. "Take the stones people throw at you and use them to build a monument."
Now that is a powerful image. Turning negativity into fuel. Amazing.
Obstacles, even criticism, they can make you stronger, push you further, if you have the right outlook, that is.
Using that energy, that resistance, to create something meaningful, lasting, like Ratan Tata did his whole life. Never back down from a challenge. He used them to rise higher. Take the Tata group with him.
It's such a great image, building something powerful out of what people throw at you. But he wasn't all about just strength, 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 you know? There's another quote really highlights this. If you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, walk together. He really believed in collaboration.
Oh, absolutely. That's leadership in a nutshell, right? You can't build something that lasts on your own, on individual brilliance. It takes teamwork, a shared vision, empowering others. He wasn't just making companies, he was building institutions, things that would outlive him.
That long-term thinking, that's what makes a real legacy, passing the torch, inspiring the next generation to do even better.
Exactly. And his story, what he did, the values he lived by, it's a powerful example for anyone who wants to lead with real purpose.
And this is something we need, especially now. The world's facing some big, complex problems. Climate change, the economy, so much division. We need leaders who can handle that kind of pressure, but still hold on to their values, you know?
Couldn't agree more. And Ratan Tata, he showed us it's not about choosing between doing good and being successful. You can do both. And honestly, the best businesses, they figure out how to do both really well. It's about finding that balance.
He set a high bar for what it means to be a leader in this day and age, that's for sure.
He did. And it's a message for everyone, not just the CEOs and big shots. We all have a part to play in building a better future.
It can feel overwhelming though, can it? Like, how do you even start to build a legacy like his? It's easy to just get stuck, not know where to begin.
It's true.
Yeah.
But it's not about copying him exactly. It's more about taking those values, his approach, and figuring out how they fit into your own life, your own work. Could be something small, like supporting a local business that's doing good, mentoring someone younger, even just speaking up for something you believe in.
Those little things add up, right? They all make a difference.
100%. It all starts with asking yourself, what kind of mark do I want to leave on the world? And then, most importantly, having the guts to actually go for it.
So we've come to the end of our deep dive into the life and legacy of Ratan Tata. We've learned a lot, been inspired by his story. But now it's time to think about our own legacies. What will yours be? What talents, resources, even your voice, how will you use them to make a difference?
What will you build with those stones life throws at you?
Ratan Tata showed us, even in the middle of the business world with all its challenges, there's still room for compassion, for integrity, for working towards something better. That's the kind of legacy worth fighting for.